Bacteria looks like it has diarrhea. It's turning all kinds of colors. Shocking.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Guilty by Association, the Joseph Cumia Show. What have I been doing?
White coattail riding hack.
Let's see. We did an interview with Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull, which you'll be seeing at the tail end of this program, the last approximate half hour.
It was all an April Fool's joke, wasn't it?
34-minute interview with Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull.
On this show, no
over the course of this past week, I've interviewed Ron Bumblefoot Thal from Guns N' Roses, leader 40. He's played with a whole bunch of people. Currently in the studio with Scott Weiland. I actually got to sit down and play guitar with him via Skype. That was a pisser. I had a good time with that. I've been over Anthony's house. We did some production work for the band Filter, some live production. Anthony had them on, and that was an experience.
Fucking engaging.
Very nice fellow.
I can't
Richard
take it
Patrick,
anymore.
The brother of the Liquid Terminator from Terminator 3.
True. The T10.
Was it?
The lead
Who am I
singer
talking
of Filter's
to?
T10's
No one.
brother.
There's no one here.
Oh, really?
Only me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Richard Patrick.
Richard Patrick.
His brother was
Like Buddy Holly
the
over there, that guy.
T3, I think it was.
T10,
the
you
liquid
stuttering
guy.
fuck.
The liquid cop. That guy. Anyway, yeah, hung out with them. Great band. Awesome people to kick around with. Had a lot of fun with them.
They really were.
And I did
And Richard
production
Bates
work
like a
at
fucking lunatic.
over at my brother's house. He had them on the show. And as well, went to their show at the Emporium in Patchogue, New York,
Emporium?
that evening, along with
Hell's the matter
Cold
with his
Chamber
eyes?
and a couple other bands.
Blinky
It's
Madison.
been a while since I've been in a pit. It was pretty intense. I'm not that easily frightened or intimidated by mosh pits because I'm kind of a big guy. I'm a 230 pounder. Well,
You're a fat fuck.
41 pounder these days. And these little kids in fucking jams jumping around, all vaped
Hey,
out.
look, he's wearing that
They don't know how to
Sons of
fucking
Anarchy
take care of
sweatshirt
themselves. Not like
again.
old school
Where's his
biohazard.
gun?
Where's your guns? Where's your guns?
Anthrax. Those were some pits, folks. Those were some real pits. Anyway, what else do we do? Yesterday, Anthony and I sat down on this new thing on social media called Periscope. It's called Periscope.
He said he
It's
sat on a Periscope.
Actually, it's a pretty awesome new
He said it was awesome.
app. The iPhone, it enables you to basically hit an app on your iPhone and you are broadcasting all over the place, all over the world. That's scary because now anyone can tape anyone doing anything at any time, anywhere, and no one knows. And it's not even taping. It's like if you could be holding your phone like this, and
your wife could be blowing someone.
live streaming something behind you that's going on, and no one
You
knows.
put it all over the World Wide Web.
So watch what you say, watch what you do, because someone is always watching. This fucking Big Brother thing really crept up on us, didn't it? Didn't it?
You had to say
It
it
did.
twice.
Yes,
And it's scary because a lot of people are going to get in big trouble.
Did it?
We know what
Are
Amir
they?
Tweet did to my brother's radio career. Merely tweeting. That had nothing to do with video.
Merely tweeting.
Imagine catching a priest sucking some fucking altar boy's cock. Yes, I said that on Easter. I said it on Easter. By the way, happy Easter, everyone.
It was recorded Easter Sunday.
But imagine that.
Is too stupid to realize it was
There
going
are
to
all
play on
kinds
a
of things that
Wednesday.
go horribly wrong. You see your friend's girl out with another guy. Oh boy, Let's get this.
Hope he ain't
Or
black.
one of your
happened not too long
girlfriend's
ago,
friends
actually.
sees you out with another girl. Oh, you're so fucked.
Oh,
and
boy.
there's nothing
Phone's
you
going
can
off
do
now.
about it because it's live streaming. It's not like you have it on your phone and you think a couple of days ago,
Blackmail.
should I post this? I don't know. Should I post it? I could really raise some fucking hell if I did.
You're about as engaging as Jock Itch.
I hope my levels are okay. Are my levels all right? I don't
No!
even know. I don't know.
Shut them off.
They should be
They'll
okay.
be perfect.
But imagine that, you have it on your phone, you have a couple of days to think about it. You may not post it to social media. But in this case, folks, it's
Again, with
just
the double-
put
with
out
the
there
double.
immediately.
What's the matter with you?
And there's
Does
no
they think
taking it
twice?
back.
It's like a double
Okay, yeah,
orgasm.
that's called Periscope.
Twice as
Get the
That
papers,
will be
get
the
the papers.
downfall of humanity,
It's Joey two
along
times.
with Obama and gun control. But those are other issues. Hey, listen, I came up with something very, very interesting for this first half of the program, which will probably be short because I'm late already getting over to my Aunt Fran's house. Going to be going over there, hanging out with my brother, and my sister's actually out in California at Anaheim
back now, though.
Disneyland, because it's a completely different experience for
We're
young
fucking everybody up with
Warren.
this
For young
show, Joe.
Warren Dean, her
Who's
son.
live? Who's Memorex?
And they're having a good time out in the 85-degree weather while we freeze our asses off back here in New York. But I saw a couple of things last night on the Twitter, and had to
Now
do
it's
with
gonna get
my
interesting.
brother and his old radio partner, Opie.
Oh,
Honestly, I don't have
what
any
news?
personal issues with Opie. None. We were hanging out on St. Patrick's Day over at F.H. Riley's, his brother's place, and I had a fine time with the guy.
He makes a
There was
good
so
point.
there are no personal issues. Let's get that straight right off the bat. From a personal standpoint, I don't have any of the problems that like that he may have had with my brother or my brother may have had with him. No personal issues. But I do have to say, from a professional...
Okay, we're gonna pause it right here. We gotta pause it. Turn around. I'm pausing it. We're going live.
Freeze
we're going
frame.
legit live. Wait a minute.
Legit.
I'm gonna get a really stupid ass face on me. Wait.
standpoint,
Ready, set,
and now that
and-
I've gotten some of the
And-
inside poop...
There we go. That's pretty fucking dumb looking. All right. How's everybody doing? We're gonna
Pointing.
turn the gain down now.
Pointing.
Gain's way too loud. That's better. How's everybody doing? We are live right now. That is Memorex. Those guys over there, they're just a bunch of fucking morons. Why don't we get to a let's get to a better place, Joe. Let me see. Let's go here. And see. I hope everything works. Whoa! How's everybody doing, huh? We are 100% live. Joe Pietaro, Joe Cumia, the Guilty by Association show. A lot has happened in the past couple of days, and most of it not so good. Between my brother and his former partner, Opie of Opie and Jimmy, the Opie and Jimmy show, Sirius XM satellite radio. We've had our fun. The listeners have had their fun. The troll portion of the listeners have definitely had their fun. Look who it is.
He's supposed to be here.
He is supposed to be here. That's why you're sitting here and he's not. Normally you'd be over there taking care of buttons and switches.
And chatting.
He might be on his way. So getting back to Anthony, they both had some pretty fucking nasty things to say about each other, and they have every right to. They have the knowledge of one another's personalities. 20 years partners, Joe. 20 years. That was 3 times I said that. 20 years as partners. And you know what? Anyone's going to get fed up with anyone else, basically.
That's how it works. Even marriages. After 20 years, everything just becomes, you know everything. You know everything about that other person.
I'm married 20 years. I can speak from personal experience.
There you go. And they have the right to say whatever it is they feel they needed to say. At one particular point, the dam burst. The dam burst. Anthony couldn't keep it inside of him anymore. He couldn't keep in the innermost secrets that the Opie and Anthony show, right up until after the time Anthony was fired, kept a lid on. He couldn't do it anymore. In fact, he got to the point where it was everything and anything about the business end of his relationship with Opie, with Greg Hughes, that he felt wasn't done the best it could have been done, came out on the air. He just let it go. And as I said, he's got the right to do that. People who decide to jump in a camp and take sides, this is going to be like a five-part dissertation on personal relationships, interpersonal relationships with people that you work with. When you have a relationship like that and you get to know the person that well, you have facts and you have experiences, real life experiences with that person. So it gives you the right to discuss them and to talk about the things that you personally did not like about that other person. When people go on social media and decide to jump in a camp, jump in the Anthony Cumia show, or the Opie Jimmy camp, and decide to bash the other person, you're being a moron. You're being an ass. I don't care how big a fan you think you are, how much you think you know, how much you think I don't know. I get a lot of that too. And not at all to make it about me, because it's not. This only has to do with old brother Joe trying to teach some fucking dummies a lesson. And I'm not saying, you know what? It's really I'm going to call them the 3%ers. Because it's about 3 fucking percent of the people that actually listened to the Opie and Anthony show for any amount of time, that believe they know more than I do. They honestly believe that they know so much about that show that they are qualified to pass judgment on either one of those guys. Let me let you in on something else. I have no personal issues with Greg, with Greg Hughes, with Opie. I have none. Not the only thing pissed me off a little bit as a brother, as Anthony's brother, was when he called him human garbage. Hashtag human garbage. I should bring that up right now. You should be over there typing it. Hashtag human garbage. But you know what? I get that. I understand why that happened. People get pissed off. They say things. They say things that 5 seconds after it's out of their mouth or tweeted, they'd love to take back. Moving on to a different part of this entire debacle is the fact that when I watched Anthony's show, when I watched the replay, I felt as though he stuck pretty. And I'm not condoning. I'm not defending Anthony. I'm not defending Opie in any way. But what I am saying is that Anthony stuck to the things he felt in the interpersonal relationship with Opie that he had that affected the business end of the Opie and Anthony show. From his vantage point, he felt that there were certain things that Opie said and did that could have been damaging, could have been much more damaging to the show than it actually turned out to be. Conversely, I mean, on the other end of it, Opie was very, and this has everything to do with their personalities. Opie was very
emotional about, when he answered Anthony, his retort was very emotional. It was emotion driven rather than fact driven. He had some facts correct. Okay, let's break it down even more. My brother, we've been around each other for 50 years. I mean, a long time. Nobody knows him better than I do. I could say that with all the confidence in the world. Nobody knows my brother better than I do. And no one knows me better than he does. He is not a very emotional guy. He's just not an emotional. He doesn't get, he's not a huggy guy. He won't walk up to someone and put his arm around and go, "Hey, bro, how you doing? What's it?" And when he
1 minute you're kissing and hugging over there, and the next minute you're like a fucking Jake. He's not the kissing and hugging type.
Keep this motherfucker here. What Anthony does is he breaks things down very, very scientifically. He's got one of these analytical minds. That's what makes him way different than me. Way different than a lot of you. What makes Anthony so special in the field of broadcasting? He knows how to deliver lines. He knows how to speak to an audience and make them understand exactly what's in his head, precisely what he's thinking. And being capable of doing that has given him an advantage over many people over the course of many years. Anthony went from, I always say, he lands with his ass in a butter tub, no matter what he does, and it's because of the way he interacts with other people. There have been jobs over the years that that I got him into, and he just like blew right past me. That's because you're a fucking dummy. It's because he knows how to interact with people. He knows how to talk to people. He can make them understand what he wants them to understand. On the other hand, Opie, while I guess okay at that, doesn't have the same tools Anthony has as far as being able to make people understand, which has made it easier for the fans to feel comfortable going for the jugular of one Greg Hughes. I don't want to call him a soft target because I don't want to offend, and I want to make it very clear right now. I still have no personal issues with Opie. None. I've known him technically longer than Anthony. I introduced them. I delivered that first tape on Electric Shock OJ to WBAB, and I met Opie first. Not to say I know him better than Anthony, but I do know him as long as Anthony's known him. And we've had some conversations. We've had talks in the past, fairly recently over at F.H. Riley's. And you know what? No problem with him there either. You got free food. God, do I fucking hate people, man. Some people I can't fucking stand some people. Some of these motherfuckers on Twitter, on Reddit, on Facebook, on YouTube. By and large, and for the most part, you guys are fucking great. I love almost each and every one of you. Rick, what? And that's the truth of it. But there are a few that are so fucking moronic, Joe. I can't even tell you how much. These people honestly believe that they have the right to pass judgment on either Opie or Anthony with their limited knowledge. You know how much you know? If this room is the knowledge base of the Opie and Anthony show, how much Opie and Anthony know about each other, you know what you know? You know less than the fucking, if I had a case of lice, the egg sitting on my fucking balls, you know less than that much. Less than that much.
But they may even listen to the show, so of course they know everything that goes on behind the scenes. They may even be listeners.
Well, I get that's another issue. It's actually another issue.
I have arguments with my pals on Whackbag, and they're like, I haven't listened to the show in 5 years, but still, I'm like, so what do you?
But still, Anthony,
are you even on this fucking?
Anthony's right. Opie's wrong. Opie, let me tell you something, man. They both helped each other out. From a business standpoint, my brother would tell you tomorrow. There were very few things, right up until the very end, that Opie did, that bothered him. As far as the business end of things go, he had his complaints. He had his issues. They are two completely different personalities. And, that's, it's overtly apparent now. I mean, they don't, they have no qualms saying, whatever they want about each other, and no longer partners. But the real scumbag here, and the people that you guys should be, directing your anger toward and get pissed off at for taking away your radio show. It's not Opie, not Anthony, not old brother Joe.
Really? I thought you were going to put yourself on the sword.
It's me. It's all me. It's XM. It's a Sirius XM satellite radio. And Scott Greenstein, that fucking piece of shit that folded, that blew down like a house of cards the second he had the opportunity to do so. He had an excuse to break that show up. There's been speculation that perhaps the mighty Howard Stern had a little something to do with it. Did he want his heir apparent, the Opie and Anthony radio show, to be there and ready to jump in his seat if SiriusXM said, enough of you? Did he want a threat to be there? I'll tell you, that would have been not that I'm a genius in business, or God knows I'm not a genius in broadcasting, but that would have been my move. That would have definitely have been my move. I would have said, these guys got to go, and figured out a way to make it happen. That's, like I said, that's speculation as well. I've seen a bunch of people tweet about that. And the whole fucking racist thing is just, it's again cropping up and rearing its ugly head. Look, you know what? No one's going to make. I've got to handle this one delicately, Joe. No one's going to make any. No one's going to make any excuses for anyone. There's a huge racial divide in this country, and especially when people who are so close to the media are commenting, are giving their slants on current events, things that happen that piss us off. Anthony has been very outspoken about those things, as everyone knows. I'm sure everyone that's listening to the show right now knows. Anthony's been extremely outspoken about race and about the problems he feels as though exist in the black community. And he addresses them fairly and with facts. He doesn't make things up. They are there for him to draw from. That, unfortunately, these days is
pisses people off.
Is a good way to get fired.
Yeah, people don't want to hear the fucking facts or the truth.
And the biggest, the biggest problem with that is people were very easily, because it was a black girl in Times Square, people were very easily able to spin it. When he called her a savage, he was thinking of the of Spanky's Uncle Bill from Borneo. You know what I mean? This is what people have in their heads. When
Great
Anthony
episode,
said,
by the way.
it was. Yum, yum, eat 'em up. Yum, yum, eat 'em up. Eat 'em up. Eat 'em up. Eat 'em up. Uncle Bill has a tail. Spanky. Love that kid. Little fucking racist that he was. I love him. Well, I mean, getting back to the matter at hand. He's not. What the fuck was I saying, Joe? He's not. I'm stoned. I'm acting stoned.
People point to the racism.
People point to racism rather than to what he was actually fired for.
It was one of those. See, we told you.
Right.
One of those fucking bullshit
But
washwoman things.
the excuse given by Scott Greenstein, and I saw his termination letter. I saw the letter that was sent to him.
The email.
Yeah, it was an email. It was. It stated that it was his violent tendencies, his whatever the hell was, I don't remember the exact words they used, but speaking, violently, making it look as though he would have done something rash. And believe me, if he wanted to, he could have, but he didn't. So the spin from Scott originally saying that it was due to Anthony's violent tendencies, angry tweets that were could be interpreted as being as Anthony being a violent person. It spun from that to racist. Once that happened, it was all over. It got to mainstream media, and they summarily fired my brother. Opie brought that up too, and he said that that for a long time, upper management had been saying that Anthony's racial tirades. Doug Nelson is calling. Should we Skype Doug in?
Sure.
Want to Skype him in?
Mr. Nelson.
Okay, let's get this. Let's see if I can get this. Let's see. All right, let's go to...
Hit the video one. Yeah, right there.
Let's go to Doug. All right, Doug, are you anywhere near video? Let's see. So far, so good. Let's see. Any of that? No. Waiting for you. We are connected. Hello.
I can hear. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Mr. Nelson.
The man, the legend. Can you up? Connection must not be good. Out in where is he? Where are you, man? It's getting a little bit better. Are you on Wi-Fi? Or are you like
No.
dial up 44.1? 144 baud. We're having a hard time getting you, Doug.
Okay.
Try calling back. I'm not hearing you at all, man.
Oh,
Try
really?
calling back. Cool. He's gonna try calling back. Doug Nelson, excellent artwork. The guy's
rules.
The guy's hysterical.
Here we go.
Here we go again. Let's try this. And let's see. Okay, I think I got you this time.
There I am.
All
There
right.
you go. That's better.
What's up, Doug?
Hey,
Hey, you know what? Yeah, let's see if we can get Mystery Science Theater 3000 going here. What is he? There we go. Nice. Look at that guy's got a big head.
attack of the dangerous Mr. Nelson.
Mr. Nelson has a big head.
Yeah.
What's up, Doug? How you doing, man?
Weathering the storm of watching our heroes gut each other.
You are officially our first Skyped-in guest.
Oh, well,
Skype
right.
guest.
Mr. Nelson on Twitter.
So how much money do I get for this?
Same money.
Same money we
The
get.
next guy's gonna get.
That's awesome, man. Where are you located? What part of the country?
Louisiana looks like a boot. Well, then I'm in the hill of that boot. It's a place called Sulphur. It's a little south of Lake Charles. If you look on a map, figure it out.
Very cool.
Very good,
Very-
sir. So, what's your take on the entire Opie and Anthony debacle?
You know, well,
Audio in and out. I really wish I could hear everything that you're saying right now, but perhaps speaking too softly. Maybe you should turn the gain up on the mic. Possibly. Or maybe speak a little more like a broadcaster, damn it.
maybe let me pull it up to me. Now, Joe, can you hear my amazing
Now,
voice?
yeah.
Now I hear that. Now I can hear you. Let's just talk in deep voice, guy voice. Here we go.
You guys are making me hard, man. Come on.
You like that? You like that, don't you? All right, let's start this over again. So, what do you think about the Opie and Anthony debacle?
Well, both sides. I was left wondering, well, is that it? Because I didn't. So bad that it's beyond repair. I was really kind of, stunned that Opie was that broken up about it. But then that kind of, unfortunately for him, kind of clarified Ant's point that, there are Greg shells. I know he didn't like hearing that, but I mean, I don't really see why he's that upset.
Yeah, no, I understand exactly what you're saying. It's a lot of people have been speculating that he was that upset due to guilt, some type of guilt trip, something that he felt as though maybe he could have done a little bit more to save the show, and he's kind of internally blaming himself, and it came out as a teary as a tirade followed by tears. You know what I mean? Okay, he keeps on. Okay, I just muted us so I can talk for him. Yeah, I think Opie's a faggot, and I think he actually could have fucking
Thing.
done way more to do anything. He could have done anything else, and I think that if I was in the studio, I'd punch him in his fucking head. I would have to do him back. Sorry, Doug. Yeah, it's a. We have a very dicey connection here. A dicey connection. It's not so it's not so good. You keep on cutting out audio wise, but your video is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
you
He's laughing.
look great, man. You look really good. Did you purposely get your face up that close so no one could recognize you? Oh my! Someone else is Skyping. Let's see who's this. Raphael. Oh, Raphael's coming in. I could have Doug Nelson calling back. Oh, he's offline. Yeah. See, let's see if Raphael. He's great. He's the guy that does. He's the guy that does Tony Soprano. Actually, does pretty good Soprano. Let's see. Let's get out of there. Let's go back up to here. Hello. Well, where am I? Where am I going? Doug, are you connected to us right now?
I hear me.
Yeah, you're in and out. I'm gonna try. Let me cut you loose just for a few minutes. I want to try this. I want to try this guy Ralph and see if if Skype comes in any better with him. All right, brother. I will be in touch with you.
Okay.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Bye bye.
Let's see, Ralph.
Yeah.
Accept, and he is online. Let's try Ralph Mastromonaco. Raphael. Hello, Raphael. Pick up your Skype. Voice message. No thanks.
All right, so
All right, well, just hang up. We'll wait for him to call back. Okay, so. Look at that funny looking fuck here. Wait a second. Let's... Oh.
No personal issues.
No personal
But I
issues.
do have to say,
All right, I've already said it live, so we're going to let him hang there for a little while. Actually, let's go to the studio again. We get back into the studio, check it, and
Yeah, woo.
Skypey.
So yeah, Opie had said, that cried on the air, which, I mean, it made a lot of people feel bad for him.
I was
gave him
very surprised when I heard that part.
a little sympathy, a little more sympathy.
Yeah. And I don't think some people were saying it was crocodile tears. I think it was genuine. I think he fucking felt bad about the whole situation. Maybe not guilt. I don't know, maybe partially that, but I think he really was like, oh, fuck, man, we had a great thing, and now we're not even friends.
Yeah, I get that.
Pretty bad.
I get that, too. But the thing is, I think part of it may have been that he did feel as though he could have done more. Because he even like touched on that a little bit, He
did,
Maybe
yes.
he could have done more. Mm-hmm. The very next day that they were on the air, that he and Jimmy went on the air without Ant, I called in, and I've talked about this before, and I asked him if he knew of anyone that called in and complained when that woman in Times Square, anyone having to do with her. Did her lawyer call in and say she was going to sue Anthony? Did anyone did fucking Reverend Al is he getting a bunch of people together to protest in front of Sirius XM building? No, nothing. I know of nothing. Was exactly what Opie said. I know of nothing that transpired due to the fact that Anthony had this altercation with this cunt in Times Square. So
no. I'll have the picture up. No.
Well, how else could he have reacted to Ant's firing? He could have done the whole stand with Ant thing and not and said, "Listen, we're not going on the air."
The Duck Dynasty thing.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? Also, playing the devil's advocate, Anthony even said it was a cake fucking gig. You're not going to walk away from a cake gig like that.
Of course not.
So we can't kill him. We're not
and
in
you
his
have to
position
understand,
do
too, the difference in their situations. Anthony is a lone wolf. Anthony only has to worry about Anthony. And he's been that way forever. He really does. I mean, he only has to take care of himself. He doesn't have, a family other than us. He's got no kids. He doesn't have a wife. He doesn't owe a penny of any type of support to anyone. He owns his life. You go on the other end of it, and you look at his ex-partner, and Opie's got a couple of kids. He's got a wife, possibly very high maintenance. I don't know her, but I would think that after this long, she's got to be used to being well taken care of. And, he's got a couple of expensive pieces of real estate. It did not behoove him to take the risk of losing his gig to save my brother, someone who he admittedly wasn't crazy about anymore, wasn't his best friend. You know what? If this had happened 5, 6, 7, 10 years after they had started, it never would have happened. Just never would have happened. Opie would have said, fuck you. I'll go. Me and Anthony will find a gig somewhere else. But it almost seems as though, as far as broadcast radio goes, this may have been their last stop as a team, as the Opie and Anthony show. Everyone knows they've had their troubles. They've had their run-ins with the law. They've had their problems. So you never know what may have. Were you being Skyped?
I believe so. Yeah.
You never know what may have happened. Had it been a few years back. Rafael Mastromonaco. Let's try him again. Boop, boop, boop. A boop, boop, boop. But that's where he got that from. Skype. Boop, boop, boop,
Hello.
boop. Hey, Rafael.
Hey, Joe.
How you doing, man?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. I guess you don't want to show your face on this, or don't you have video Skype?
I have a little Mac Mini.
Do you?
I have a good microphone.
You sound really good. Yeah.
Oh, good. It's
awesome. No, good. Video Skype is pretty much a NA at this point. So you're in the feed, which is nice. I can hear you fine.
No, that's good.
Yeah, and you're on live with us. So what the hell's happening, man?
Man, this whole thing, when this whole thing with Opie and Anthony just started coming back, it kind of caught me a little off guard. And it's funny because I'm trying to look at it from both sides, and then I stop myself and I go, well, wait, there's so much we don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even just think about this and just let whatever happen.
Thank
leave
God
that.
someone is speaking with a
Voice of
brain
reason.
with a brain in their head. Someone's making sense, and you, Raphael, are that guy. Thankfully, a fan calls in and understands what what it is what it is everybody's been trying to allow to happen. Just let it take place. Don't judge instantly. Don't immediately try jumping on one bandwagon or another, and things should work themselves out in the end. I mean, it's their job to do it anyway. It's their job to work things out. Go on. I'm sorry for interrupting, man.
No, that's okay. You're right. One of the things I did think about was, doing it on, one or the other show as opposed to doing it privately. And then I thought about when Anthony said, we owe it to the fans to work it out on air. But then I think about the point you just made too earlier, that we know so much, very, very, very little about what is really going on behind the scenes. And if you do that on air, we're kind of, I don't know, I still feel like we'd be left in the dark. It's almost like it shouldn't be done on air. It should be handled between you two guys behind the scenes, because 90% of it that needs to be worked out is still 90% of it that we don't know about. So maybe going on the air, talking about it between the two of them, I don't know if it would have really did any good anyway.
That was the beauty of that show, though, Raphael. They always put everything out there. I mean, they held very little back. The personal end of things they did. I mean, they had to for the good of the show, for the sake of the show. They had to, they couldn't very well go on. I mean, there were the times where, they'd break down in studio and start bitching at each other. Opie walked that time for a couple of days, and that's but that's something that the fans are owed. The part of it that they aren't understanding can only come to be understood by listening to Anthony hash it out publicly. I mean, if they keep it behind closed doors, still going to be a ton of speculation, a ton of not a ton, but the 3% of assholes that honestly do believe they know everything about it that there is to know, and in the end, nothing really gets resolved that way.
Like that guy you had to block on Twitter this afternoon who kept running his fucking mouth.
Right.
Holding that stupid little toy gun at his mother's fucking birthday. Jesus,
his mother's 92nd birthday in the closet right after he got off the conga line.
Yeah. I do think Opie was, when he started getting really upset, I was a little surprised he was getting that upset. And I don't know who played the laugh track eventually while he was crying a little bit. I don't know if that was Sam or that was Opie. So then I kind of wondered, was that kind of a bit, or was that somebody, maybe E-Rock trying to like lighten up the mood a little bit?
Well, I mean, it could have been anyone on the staff. I mean, I know from and this is like privileged information, that I mean, things that I get. That I'm privy to that a lot of people aren't, even though a lot of the morons out there think, I don't know, they have some kind of belief that I was never a part of any of that. I'm some kind of whatever. But anyway, I'm not. I do have some inside information. I do know for a fact that if you were to take Opie made a case saying that all of the people that were involved with the show stayed when Anthony was fired. If it were the other way around, it would have been the same way. They would have stayed if it had been Opie that was fired.
Oh, yeah.
For him to say that that he was some kind of that the things that Anthony was saying weren't true because everyone on the show decided to stay with Opie. It's not a matter of them deciding to stay with Opie. It was a matter of them deciding to stay with their job, with their tried and true, way of making a living.
I just wonder if that at that point, when he made those points, if that was just him trying to, I don't know, go bullet point for bullet point. Like, well, you say that, I'm going to counter it, but then it just becomes, like exactly what you said. Like people would have stayed regardless.
Right.
I think maybe he just felt pressured to, I don't know, kind of just respond to that regardless. What I kind of got from that, I went to school I minored in intercultural communications and therapy, and so I pick up on little things that I could be totally wrong or I could be right, but I really, when he started talking about their relationship not really going past 1999 personally,
right?
Honestly, I just think he really just misses Anthony's friendship, wants his friend back. And I think because he was raised with a mother that was mentally ill, he was never taught the skills to talk to people the way he wants to. He doesn't genuinely know how to talk to Anthony, and I truly believe that. So I think he wants to fix something, but he doesn't know how to start that conversation. And Anthony, not being a very confrontational person, can't do it either. And believe me, I live with my parents again. My father is exactly that kind of person. Does not know how to talk to people about these kind of things. So I saw where he was coming from.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, it's a very valid and good point you make. But as far as as far as Anthony's desire to go out and have a beer or get dinner and hash things out privately. I honestly don't think the desire is there anymore. So, I mean, in as much as that's what Opie would love to do, it's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? So at a certain point in time, you got to cut the losses and cut the ties entirely and just say, this is the way things are. Now, when Anthony got to that point, he decided that he was going to tell all. I mean, I told him years ago he should be beginning a book of some kind, and when that book comes out, holy shit, I got a ton of things to say about Opie. And I knew this years ago, but when it finally came to the point where he couldn't do it anymore, he couldn't hold it back anymore, and there's certain how it goes about when tragedies befall someone's life, they go through stages and steps of healing, so to speak. And I think that the anger part of it finally sunk in with Anthony, and he felt as though any of the things that were pissing him off about his former partner that didn't go to bat for him as much as he would have wanted him to, just had to come out.
Joe, I want to just say on the record, I know Anthony had brought up something about a book the other day when this whole thing was going on. I want to put my name in the hat. You have a professional journalist right here working with your brother, Anthony. Give me the first shot to write that book.
He wants to be Joe wants to be the guy.
I'll knock your fucking socks off with my writing.
There you go.
Give me a shot.
He does know how to write. He's a pretty goddamn good writer, Joe Pietaro.
Thank you.
I know. I've seen that. I've seen a lot of what he does on the Joe Kiyomiya show. He gets up on the web, and a lot of the summaries that he comes up with for each show are very concise, clear, to the point, and entertaining as hell. My bad.
Main thing.
I'm looking at the chat room, and
That's
ooh,
10%.
I already got some heat. I already got some heat you live with your parents, your points are invalid then.
Oh, of course you did. Who was that? Was that Pizza on fucking YouTube, or was
Mother
it
Mother Shucker 1.
Oh, that's Dennis. No, he's all right.
He's okay.
Oh, okay.
Dennis, come on.
No, but it's
Roll
the
up,
but it's
Dennis.
the perfect example that I moved out when I was 21 and lived on my own until I was 29 and have 2 degrees, and shit just fucking happens.
Right.
And if you had to sit there, just like when you're on Twitter and people are talking shit, it's like how many, you can't make it your full-time job to just explain yourself to every fucking stupid person every time they have a goddamn opinion about something.
Oh, yes, I can. You see, I do that. I do that all the time.
You're a musician. You got days to work with because you're working nights. And you know,
While you fellas are at work, I'll be here all day, Mr. Cramden.
the other thing, you know, there's a lot of fans that still hold on to the old show and still expect it to be the old show. Why aren't they doing the wiffle ball bat challenge? Why aren't they doing the 6 o'clock queef? Why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they doing that?
Well, I ask the same questions myself daily.
I'd love to see all
Look at
that
me.
stuff, but you know, at a certain point, they're going to move on. They're going to do different things. Why can't people accept that the format? Even if the O&A show was still going on today, if they were doing a podcast like Anthony's doing now, or you know, the show that I don't like to even call it a podcast, but whatever. Would they be still doing the old format if they didn't have their hands tied? I don't know that they'd be doing it so much. It's kind of like when Howard said, all right, I'm on Sirius XM, whatever the fuck, XM, or Sirius, and he was like, now I can curse. But that doesn't mean I'm just going to curse every second of, that I'm on the air.
Right.
I'm just not going to get in trouble to do it. So I don't know why people just hold on to, they can't let go. I don't get that.
Raphael, can you hold for one moment?
Sure.
Thanks, man. Hold on. All right. Let's see.
Jobless zombie.
Jobless zombie. Are you on?
Hey. Yeah, I'm here. I have a
right.
quick question. Why are people so surprised that a lot of fans are assholes when Opie, not so much Anthony, but more Opie, kind of trained the fans to be like assholes? Like during Jocktober, like innocent people in radio, like Terry Clifford and Maxwell and all those people, they got like destroyed personally,
Well,
and nobody gave a shit.
and so you're saying why do you think Opie is so surprised that the fans treat him the way they do now? Some of them,
Yeah.
come at him the same way he would come at a.
Well, he said that eventually the pest would turn on them.
Right. Well, I think that when you've done it for as long as Opie has and been in the position that he's been in, and this is again, it's speculation, but it is fact based because I know Opie for many years. I've had Opie yell at me in the studio for saying something out of turn or not following the program, as it were, not being part of the way his agenda. I think that he's reaping what he's sown in some of those instances. He absolutely did trash people without thought. Stepping on a homeless guy's cake, ripping off Stalker Patty's wig and throwing it in the street.
But he made up for it, though. He gave them the money back.
Yeah, of course.
It was a bit.
Yeah, but he went into
But
people's
as far
personal
as
lives.
his shock and surprise now at the way the fans treat him, I think Anthony is. I think Anthony. I think you reap what you sow. And Opie's always been a little more. The guy to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's been that guy, and he's getting it back now. And as I said earlier, I have to reiterate just in case, and I know one way or another he's going to hear about this broadcast and what we talked about. I have no personal issues whatsoever with Opie. He's never done me wrong. He's always been cordial. He's good to my family. He's nice to, he's been, a decent guy. Anthony's got his reasons, and I respect those reasons because Anthony's my brother. But there are people I dislike that Anthony, my ex, my daughter's mom, came by to drop off my daughter on Easter. And Anthony popped his head right down. Hey, how you doing? Happy Easter. Like, do you realize this is the fucking... This is what I'm thinking in my head, but, of course I'm not going to say anything. But I think everyone kind of, reaps what they sow. And Opie's seeing a little bit of that come back at him,
As a fan, I liked Opie like 90% of the time. There was that 10% where he was annoying. Like, the things that bothered me, especially now, is like the bashing E-Rock for his weight. And as a fat guy, I take E-Rock's side. But yeah.
Me too, sir. Me too. I think Anthony very rarely gets himself into a position where he could be viewed as the mean guy or the bad guy. He generally, of course, unless it has something to do with people of color. No, he
Colored guys.
He actually very rarely puts himself into that position. Puts himself out there in that light. So I would say probably a ratio of about 2 to 1. The fans are going to tend to side with Ant. Only because of his personality and the way he's presented himself over the past 20 years.
Yeah. Well, Opie talked a lot about how Anthony didn't interact with the staff and everything, but in my opinion, Opie kind of secluded himself away from a lot of the audience compared to Ant. That kind of opened the door a little bit too much, to the point that fans show up to his damn house.
Yeah. Well, it's that just goes to show you, though. I mean, that further proves my point about the differences in personality when it comes to Opie and to Anthony. Anthony does open his doors to pretty much anyone. His private life is very public, and Opie's private life he keeps private. I can kind of see both sides of it. I mean, I know as a musician, I know I need to get out there and have fun with the fans. That's my job. But at the same time, when things are done, things are done. I want to go home. I really don't want to hang out and spend days at a party. Whereas my brother can party for days on end. It's something that those are the inherent differences between an Opie and Anthony. And I think in the end, those are the reasons for them not seeing eye to eye post breakup. See, at this point, another thing people don't understand. At this point, it really does not make a huge difference to either one of them, to their careers, respective careers, whether they do make up or not, or talk to each other ever again. It really doesn't make. The people it really matters to at this point are the fans. The fans want to know that their mommy and daddy are okay. That's the best way. The best analogy I can use. I feel like the retarded older brother who is being taken care of by both of his younger brothers, and now they're fighting, and I don't know. One dog looks
talking
this
about
way, the
mommy
other dog
and
looks that way. Guy in the middle goes, what's going on? What do you want from me?
It was kind of like the 10 years after the Beatles broke up, before John Lennon got killed. Were they ever going to get back together?
Right.
It was always that chance, even though it didn't seem that way. Creative differences. John was doing it. All four of them had their own solo careers going, especially John and Paul. And it was still, people were dying to get those guys back together in the studio, or at least one live appearance. That I think is the thing with Opie and Anthony. Are they ever going to hang out together again?
I really think they should have sat down together, and they should have said, like, to the fans, they should have said, like immediately after breaking up, the show ending, the show being nuked by SiriusXM, Scott Greenstein, and SiriusXM brass. Those are the people to be pissed off at.
Those are the people you should try to get even with. Get even with those fuckers. Not Anthony, not Opie. Anyway, they should have sat the fans down and said, listen, Mommy and Daddy aren't going to be together anymore.
Who do you want to live with?
we both love you very, very much. You know, they should have given him something, but it happened so fast. It was more like, I don't know, Daddy fucking ran off with a hooker. That's it.
Yeah.
Never see him again. Sorry.
Can I put in my fan 2 cents right here?
Absolutely.
I feel like back in the day, Opie would have plugged him down on the phones day one of coming back. Even, what are they going to do? Suspend us or whatever? But then again, the contract negotiation was coming up. But I just feel like, if it was back in the day where they were getting along, he would have, plugged them on the phones.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Hey, listen, man, we're going to jump, get on a couple of other calls, but Jobless Zombie, thank you very much for calling
Can
in.
I plug my shitty podcast?
We much appreciate it. Absolutely, man. Go ahead, do
It's
it.
a Jobless Zombie show. I'm having Billy Corbin and Mickey Monday from Cocaine Cowboys on. Is going to come out this week.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Wow,
if
who's
you're
doing
ever in
your
Miami,
booking? Joe Pietaro.
me myself, if you're ever in Miami, I want you on my show.
Absolutely, man. I'm down that way quite a bit. Thank you very much for the
All
offer,
right,
sir.
thank you.
All right,
All right.
have a great night, man.
Good night.
Bye.
Jobless Zombie Show. Make sure you check it out there. I should have gave with the website. Google Jobless Zombie.
That's all. All you got to do is Google
Jobless
FSL.
Zombie. Tweet Joseph Cumia Show. I'll retweet it.
Yes, well, definitely. I'll do it too. And I got what do I got? In the past 2 days, I've gained another 300 followers.
I haven't gained any.
2 days.
I may have lost a few. You know what, though? You talk about listening to old shows. On the way here, I download all the best subs and stuff. I'm listening to Box of Cocks on the way here. And just listening, it was from 06 or 07, I believe it was. And just listening to the three of them in the studio. And this is when supposedly, this is 6-7 years into what Opie had said that they weren't friendly with each other. It just sounded so fucking natural. And it was great. I mean, I've heard that episode a bunch of times. I remember listening to the fucking thing live as it was going on. It was just an incredible, funny show, and it was all off-the-cuff shit. There was no prep stuff. You can tell they were just ad-libbing the whole thing, talking about the jerk-off security guard, and that's where the whole thing came about. And it was just, it's that type of shit that you miss, that you can never get again. But listen, if you want to listen to Opie and Jimmy's show, it's different than what O&A was. Like, I think I even wrote something on our site, on the blog post. When Anthony was there, you were not going to get a guest like Joy Behar in studio. I just don't think it was going to happen. But it worked when Opie and Jimmy did with Joy Behar. I mean, I don't go to XM anymore. I got rid of my subscription, the whole stand with Anthony, whatever you want to fucking say it is. But that is a different show what O&A was. And Anthony with the show yesterday with the fucking girl shoving the hard-boiled eggs up a cunt and asshole. You're not going to get that on Opie and Anthony, and on whatever was Opie and Anthony at the end. It just was a different program at the end, especially with O and J.
We have Sean Duo on Skype. Sean?
Yes, hi. First time calling. Hey, I just want to speak for some of the Twitter haters out there. I think some of the reason that we're so angry is because the last year, the content of the show has been about not apologizing and free speech. And then when it came down to it, Opie re-signed, got more money in a new house. I think that's what the anger is about, right or wrong. I mean, I understand. We're just listeners.
The anger toward, you're talking about the anger toward Opie.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, he was the only one in the position to do anything, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy pleaded poverty. And what's Sam Roberts going to do, man? He can't do anything else.
No, definitely. The staff members had to stay where the check was.
Nobody
could begrudge them.
Opie had mentioned the fact that he was using a lot of he was using certain negotiation tactics that, I mean, they're common. They're common knowledge. It's common knowledge that people that go under contract with with an employer, they use specific tactics, and one of them is to wait until the last until the 11th hour, and sign then, because you get as much you get as much as you could possibly get. The longer you wait, the more you're going to get.
if you keep on saying it's not going to happen. The biggest issue Ant had with that was the fact that Opie didn't let anyone else in on it. So it scared the shit out of out of a Sam Roberts, out of E-Rock, out of everyone else that was that was on staff. Mainly because he didn't know. Look at that. I think that's Anthony. No,
Anthony's calling us.
is it?
Cool. Thanks. I'll get off the line. Thanks. Love the show.
Okay. All right, man.
Thanks.
But Sean brings up a very, very good
That
point.
video button. See?
Anthony G. I don't know. That can't be Anthony C. I doubt it. No. There we go. It's Anthony G. Oh, Scott Duo jumped off a call for an Anthony G. You better have something good because Scott had a pretty damn good question. Anthony G on Skype. Who is it?
Hey, Joe, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hey, great, man. I used to love going to Bar 9 to see you play back in the good old days at NEW, and want to tell you I really appreciated those times back in the day.
Well, so did I, man. We had a great time. We used to do that almost on like a bi-monthly basis. We would do that quite often. Ron and Fez got involved. They would come out, and Earl would come down and sing with us and stuff. It was a blast.
Yeah,
and
and
really good days.
I even remember the days with Jay Moore and things of that nature. But
Yeah.
the one thing I wanted to ask you, I like both guys, and I don't want to do this whole divide and conquer stuff. The
Right.
one thing though with the Opie crying thing was it really seemed like he cried about the fact that they were best friends for 5 years. They went up and down the road together in Boston. They made it big. They made all their money and everything. And I know all the girlfriend stuff happened, and that really was the beginning of the demise. But it seemed like he just really look. It could be fake or not, but it really seemed like he just lost a good friend and just realized it. The other day that. I lost one of my good and best friends, and he was very regretful of it. And I think it just bothers you as a fan that they're not friends. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
It's hard to explain, but I think
See,
that's
it really is because as a show, when they were doing their show, it was no different than than it is now. I mean that the same feelings of feelings. Bad feelings toward each other were there, but they were still able to do the show and to appear to be best of friends.
right.
I mean, unless like I said earlier, all the bottled up feelings broke loose all at once, and that happened on one or two occasions. See, but it's a matter of, and I said this on Twitter. I posted something about Anthony being capable of compartmentalizing. He can take his frustration with Opie and completely put it aside, put it away in a very deep, dark place because of the fact that they were making so much fucking money together.
Right.
I mean, who would want to bust something like that up? Anthony came from a very a poor background. We got free. We were recipients of free lunch in school. My mom supported the three of us, and my dad was nowhere to be found as far as financial support. So Anthony knows what it's like to have nothing.
Right.
Opie lived in Centerport, and if you're familiar with Centerport, Long Island, the people from Huntington Station and where we came from looked at Centerport as a bunch of fucking millionaires. So
Right.
Opie, although he brought up stories about being raised with so many brothers and sisters and having to wrap up his lunch in a cement bag and whatnot, that in and of itself doesn't make Opie a needy I don't want to say needy, but a poor child.
Right.
Go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry, Joe. Just one last thing, and I'll let you go. I know you got a lot of callers and everything. As far as the whole wedding thing goes, I mean, who cares if you gave him money or not? I mean, that's not really what the thing was. But when Opie said that, Jimmy came up, he gave me a hug. He knew how important it was to me to have a family and get married and settle down. And Ant went off to Atlantic City after a couple hours and took some members of the crew with him and kind of away from the wedding. I mean, you could tell he was hurt by the fact that maybe he didn't even give him a nice I know you said he doesn't like to hug and he doesn't like to give five or anything like that, but it just feels like he felt like he blew it off. You know what I mean?
I got news for you, man, and I'm gonna blow up Anthony's spot here for a minute. And I'm sure he really doesn't mind. It's coming from his brother, and he knows I love him. I'm way more inclined, and Dawn, my sister and I are way more inclined to walk up to someone and give him a hug, or give them or be intimate in that way with anyone. Way more inclined than Anthony would ever be. Anthony sometimes won't answer a tweet or a text or a phone call of mine or Dawn's or phone calls from my mom when she was around for days on end. So for him to go to a buddy's wedding, and basically Opie was Anthony's pal, his friend that he happened to work with and had a very lucrative career going with. But it was no more important for Anthony to be at Opie's wedding than it was for Anthony to be taking a dump somewhere. And that's the God's honest truth. He does what he wants. He has designed his life to do what he wants, when he wants, with whom he wants, and how he wants to do it. That is by design. So if he went to Opie's wedding at all, he probably didn't want to be there in the first place.
Wow.
Him showing up, was way more than he would have done for anyone else, especially someone that he may have felt, about the way he felt about Opie at the time.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I don't know. It just, as you're a fan, like you said with the whole mommy daddy thing. It's like you want him to show emotion and show that he actually cares about Opie because of everything they've been through. But hey, man, it's a radio show. Life goes on. Like I said, I miss Bar 9, dude, and good luck with your show, man.
I do too. We may just start doing something similar to that too. Anthony's got a place in the city, so we're going to start looking at a couple of little get-togethers, do acoustic stuff, and have some fun like back in the day. Bar 9. I'm glad someone called in that was there because you know what it was like. It was awesome, man.
Jay Moore, everybody, it was a great time, man. But thanks again, Joe.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Anthony.
So long, man. I like getting calls from. I love getting calls from
the people out there.
Yeah,
the people. We should get calls from our friends on the on some of the forums if they want to call us.
Right.
But they don't like to call us anymore. They used to.
Yeah, you know what?
Right.
You know what's rocking though? We've had 3 or 4 Skype callers, and I want to make it exclusively Skype. I want to get rid of that landline number. I don't want to do it anymore.
Skype.
Everyone should be able to do Skype. It's 1,000 times clearer.
Do it on an iPhone. Actually, it's a fucking app. You can do it from out anywhere.
Right now, what's happening? The thing I have to fix right now, and this is all. By the way, again for the 3%ers out there that have no fucking idea what they're talking about and talking, the hanger on and the coattail riding, Joe, and all that other shit. I can tell you this right now: everything that you see here, I put together myself. I did it all myself. I did it as a labor of love for you, the fan. I did it because I felt like doing something a little different than playing guitar. My brother initially made a lot of fun of me. It was and it was good stuff. I take that stuff. I've been being bashed by Anthony since we were little kids, and I take that very with a grain of salt. It's a lot of fun. I laugh at it. But being able to do this is the equivalent of Anthony picking up a guitar. I mean, if he picked up a guitar, I'd definitely be able to bash him, and the fans, I don't know what the fuck the fans would say. I don't know what they would do. You amp riding motherfucker. I don't know exactly how they react to it, but that's the equivalent of what I'm doing. With this entire podcasting, and I'm looking at the at Skype coming together, being integrated with the entire show. The broadcast itself looks pretty damn good. Although everyone but me is red. What the hell is that? And I'm on your side this time.
The Davinstan look.
Maybe I have like fucking, I don't know, liver disease or something. I think, am I yellow?
You're just too much of a whitey, my friend.
I don't know.
But you talk about doing this for fun, and you talk about playing the guitar, and actually we're able to mix some of that We actually were preempted tonight. We were going to show part of the Ian Anderson Skype interview that you did. We threw a little teaser out there that you put up on YouTube.
I did.
And obviously, Ian Anderson, and I have to fucking laugh because I hate to keep bringing it up, but the guys on Whackbag were like, ugh, Jethro Tull, ugh, oh. And then some jerk off on fucking Reddit. I'm fucking over 30. I'm under 30. That's daddy music. Listen, I don't give a fuck if you like Jethro Tull. I happen to like him. I know you do too.
Daddy music.
I don't care if you happen to like
Cool,
Jethro Tull or not.
Daddy-o.
11 fucking platinum, 11 gold and 5 platinum, I think.
Platinum
they had.
records.
Yeah. They're a
30
fucking monster fucking rock
How about
band.
this? 30 albums in about 40 years. 30 studio albums released.
Insane.
300 songs. And they're not your fucking... And they're not my kids' music. It is daddy music. You know what that means?
It's good shit, then.
It meant a lot of fucking work went into it. A lot of work went into it.
So
It's-
if you don't like Jethro Tull, don't shit on the fucking guest. And Ballbuster didn't. He said it was a good get, but I'm talking about some of the other pals over there. Ballbuster's a good guy on there. He's one of the mods on Whackbag. So this is not directed towards him, but getting shit on. And of course somebody, then I said we got Bumblefoot from fucking Guns N' Roses. So some fucking
It was
guy
fun.
had to. Oh, that's a whole nother fucking show on its own. Guns N' Roses and Lita Ford, and he has his own solo stuff.
He's doing a record with Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots.
Bumblefoot is a fucking major league fucking
He's
rock
a
star.
killer player.
He's a rock star. plain
I
English.
ran away with my tail between my legs. We jammed.
They-
I picked up my guitar. He had his guitar. We sat down via Skype and we were jamming. And he was playing. You know what he played? This is what scared me the fuck away. He played "Devil Went Down to Georgia" by Charlie Daniels. Every fucking fiddle note.
That's fucking cool. See, I didn't see this, folks. This is coming up for a surprise for me, too.
It's amazing, man. It was amazing, and he's the coolest fucking guy I've ever hung out with via Skype. He's actually he wrote me afterward. We communicated via email, and he was talking about going on Anthony's show. I just finished last when the hell was it? I was over at my brother's house, and I installed a permanent system for his musical guests, so that I won't have to drag my stuff over and set it up and sound check every time. And I mentioned it to Ron Bumblefoot Thal. I said, "Why don't you come over? Come over to Anthony's house. We could do some jamming over there." And he's absolutely all over it. So that's going to be that's going to be something that'll happen down the road. Not to mention the filter thing that we did over there. That was a lot of fun as well.
That was cool,
So-
yeah. If anybody didn't see that on Anthony's show, Filter, and Joe was running around in the background.
See it on replay.
I could see you over there. Oh, I got to ask
I wanted
you.
to make it right.
Dude, that bass player looked cute. How was
She was
in real life?
adorable, and she was a
looked
good player,
fucking
really good
hot
player. Yeah,
in-
she was
on the
adorable.
screen.
Very sweet girl too, man. Really nice girl. She knows how to play. She's a damn good player, man. And two of the guys are from Australia. They're from down under. So it was kind of funny. I was like, Anthony, how come you didn't break out the Australian accent?
Aye, nigh.
Ah, nice. Down under.
But there's good musical stuff coming up on Guilty by Association, obviously, with Ian Anderson and Ron Bumblefoot Thal from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
And like Joe's saying, there's going to be some cool stuff going on in the new music studio at Anthony's
Not to
house.
mention Anthony having a new a studio in the city. He's going to be able to. That's another thing. Anthony doesn't have a place in the city. It would cost him billions and millions and millions of dollars. He'll never do it. He'll never be able to compete. He'll never compete. Shut the fuck up. Enough already. Holy shit. I can't even fucking. I went on a tear with where the fuck am I? Here, wait, let me see. I went on a tear, and you can almost see it in my face. Like I'm starting. I was just starting to get a little bit pissed off. Where is it? Yeah. Let's see. Shit. Let me get rid of that. Get rid of this guy. Shit. Back at the and let's see. Okay, look there. You see, I was starting to go on a tear. Let me see if I can find a spot where I'm really fucking pissed at just that. fans that don't know what his slightly right-leaning viewpoints and maybe
what is it right?
misconstrued.
That is one pissed off face. Look at that. I look like the Jägermeister guy with no fucking hair. Don't I look like the Jägermeister guy? That guy. But I mean, the fans that don't know what they're fucking talking, I don't know if they do it for attention either. I mean, it's obvious that they listen, or they're at least casual listeners. But I don't know if they do it for attention. One guy today, and I'll make this brief. The guy tweets about, and he instantly, Joe, you're a coattail riding hack. If it wasn't for your brother, you'd be nowhere. You would be nobody. Blah, 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 blah. You're a coattail riding hack. Well, okay. I decided to engage this guy. I said,
Why
you know
not?
what? Why don't we talk about it? And why don't you come clean? You can Skype tonight. Let me know what it is about me that you find hacky, that you find, well, you're just a bore. You're boring. Okay. Well, what is it? What is it about? I'm not
what I could do to be more exciting for you.
I'm not a professional broadcaster. Tell me what it is I can do. Well, and then I asked him, have you ever seen the show? Have you ever watched? Have you ever viewed one episode or part of an episode of Guilty by Association? No. That was all I needed. It was all I needed for somebody to say
Where
that.
is he basing?
What are you fucking? Where are you coming from with this? You know exactly where it's coming from. It's opinion. It's someone else's opinion that he read, and he decided to jump on that bandwagon, to belong to something. He's got to belong to something. So he belongs to the I Hate Joe show, the I Hate Brother Joe Club. What? Why don't you, folks? Why don't you be a little more diligent? Due diligence. Just check it out. If you don't like it, tell us what it is you don't like about it. Because it only helps us in the end. I don't mind constructive criticism. I kind of like it. But when someone comes at me with, I don't like you because you're a coattail riding hack. I don't ride Anthony's coattail. That would be the dumbest fucking possible thing for me to do. It would be to try to ride Anthony's coattails. Look at me. I'm going to be funny like my brother. I'm going to be a funny guy. I'm going to think of quick, witty things. I'm going to put fucking Chinese teeth in and go off. Look, hack. First of all, hack means you rip someone off. You're doing something that someone else does. That's what hack means. If anyone ever uses that again, make sure you know who I'm ripping off, because it's not my brother.
And you're not a cabbie, so they don't mean the other.
Right. They don't mean the other hack.
Yes.
And as far as riding coattails, why would I try to ride the coattail doing this of someone that does it so much fucking better? What is your point? What's your fucking point?
They
Just
hate
come
us.
come at me with facts, man. That's all. Just come at.
They don't like us, Joe. I know they don't. I can
I don't.
feel it.
You know what? If that's the case, big fucking deal.
Don't bother me.
So
with
they
that.
don't like us. It doesn't matter.
I had a guy on Reddit say, "I hate both of yous. Fuck you." And I just wrote him, "Thank you for your support."
Exactly. What else are you gonna say?
No matter what listen, it was a no-win situation. That's fine. I'm not gonna make them all come in their pants, and that's cool.
All right. Well, to the 3%ers out there, suck my dick. To the rest of the fans, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for being supportive.
Well,
the people on Twitter have been awesome. The people on Twitter, as of late, this shit fucking went down with Anthony Ope. They've been unbelievably supportive of both. By and large, most of them have been supportive of both camps, and that's all you really can do,
Dude, what can you do?
They both went through probably the most difficult time of their adult lives, going through what they had to do. Opie having to go, on his own, Anthony having to find his own way. It's tough on both of them. So you know what? Calm the fuck down. Relax a little bit. Leave them both alone. Let them work it out. And that's what a lot of people are saying. There are just some that fucking piss me off, man. Some that really piss me off, and some that make Jimmy go like this. Poor guy, man. He's in the worst position.
Yeah.
You know, because he loves Anthony. I mean, they get along great, and their chemistry's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And his boss is Ope. He's got, I mean, I'm sure he does. He doesn't have any personal issues with.
No. And he's
with
friends with both of them. I mean,
right.
he doesn't want to choose sides, and neither should he have to. And I don't think
And
either one of them are trying to make him either, which is fine.
And to the 3%ers who are so jealous of Brother Joe, fucking hacky, coattail ride, fucking grubby motherfucker. Jimmy's my friend too. So. Anyway, what do you think, Joe? I think we did well over an hour. Yeah, we did like an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, listen, we had to cover the obviously the whole events that happened this week, and that's why we didn't show part of the Ian Anderson interview, but we're going to try to get that to you guys next week. You have a very special show tomorrow at Anthony's, the family sibling show with your sister.
Thank you
as well.
for mentioning that.
I'm very interested in seeing that.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's Anthony, Dawn, and myself. And we're going to be talking. Who is this?
Aaron
Lahinus? All right, let's just take the call.
What the heck?
Let's just take the call. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Do you have video on that thing, or you prefer not to? Doesn't matter either way to me. I hear you.
Well, no, I got video. Well, I'm working off my tablet. I don't have it run on my computer yet.
Oh, okay. All right, no big deal. You sound loud and clear Skyping in. What's happening, man?
You guys still running?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had it on my computer, but it's not working, so I just popped my tablet out, and I'm trying to see if I can get this thing to work.
Well, it's working. I mean, you don't have to go video. Audio's fine. We've been taking audio Skype calls, and it's good. Everything's like loud and clear, man. Hear everything crisp. It sounds real good.
All right.
You have a question or a comment or anything?
Well, it was just something to say. Basically, I've been following everything that's been going on through this whole thing. The one thing I keep seeing is it's basically both these guys are getting just pummeled by the fans. I mean, I think it was just the social media, the Twitter at first, that just made the whole O&A show implode in the first place.
Right.
And on top of that, constantly getting, there's guys on both sides, nailing both these guys. And I think that kind of made everything escalate to the point where these guys exploded on each other. Some stuff today, and I just wanted to, I was going to put it out on Twitter. I'm like, why bother? But, leave these fucking guys alone.
I agree with you 100%, sir. I mean, I really think that would be the sensible tack. And as we know, there is the sense is sorely lacking where the Twitter and the Facebook are concerned. For, as I said, about 3% of the fans, and they, and those are fans that I'm talking about. Then there are the peripheral people that have listened to one or two episodes, and they are authority on everything O&A. So they just chime in and decide, well, I like Opie because he has blonde hair, and I like Anthony because he can because he can imitate Dice. So I'm going to be in the Anthony camp. Let's bash Opie. Opie, you suck. Opie, you're a fucking dummy. Opie, you don't, and they base it on nothing other than their opinion, other than they want to belong to one or the other. And you're absolutely right. They should be left alone.
Early on, I mean, I started listening to the show in 2012, and Anthony, the guy fucking cracks me up. I'm a fellow Dago. I fucking love his shit. But when everything starts getting funny, you hear Opie go kind of quiet, but you realize he's the driving force behind the whole show. Right. He was the guy that was kind of doing the shit in the background. He tells the guys when to go on a break so that a 15-minute bit doesn't go in an hour and a half bit where everyone's like, okay, come on, moving on. I mean, these guys, the dynamic was these guys together made the show what it is.
Of course.
They were a great team.
Of course, and that's exactly what that's what a lot of people don't understand. That's why anyone that goes up on social media and blasts Opie's ability as a broadcaster, they really do need to have their head examined. They need to know more about broadcasting before they go, passing that kind of judgment. It's just not you need to know more about broadcasting to appreciate what Greg Hughes did for that show, and still does.
Yeah.
Anthony has always had a God-given talent. I mean, the ability to make his family belly laugh around a holiday dinner table religiously every holiday, and he still does it. He just knows how to do that. That's his strong suit. Opie's is running, steering the ship. It's steering the ship.
Yes,
People don't always like the captain. I know this. I just had a fucking guy. I can almost appreciate what Opie has gone through over the years because of my position with my band. I'm the guy that does, that pretty much has to do the things that other people don't want to do or can't do, and occasionally you're gonna piss some people off. So that's but you're absolutely right when you say that they should be left alone to deal with it. But I do, as we said earlier, I do believe that it should be in a public forum. I think that that's kind of owed to the fans, and I think it would really straighten the fucking shit out of the people that don't know.
I think so too. I just think it should happen naturally. When they're both ready. Just when the time is right, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think Ron Bennington should be the ref.
Oh Jesus!
I think it should go cage match. Cage match.
Exactly. Yeah, I really hope he gets on with Ant. That would be fucking great.
And Fezzi could be the water boy. Be great. Be a great show. I would watch it.
Baby Hitler.
Wow.
Wait,
shit.
thanks for taking my call. Hey, I got you on Facebook too. I'm gonna send you a couple things I put together. We'll see what you think. I've actually been working on my own little show here. O&A actually made me want to do my own show, and then watching this happen kind of made me not want to. So I'm kind of rethinking a few things.
What do you got? Aaron, plug your show. You got a site or a Twitter for something for it?
Yeah, I built a studio in my house here, and then I've just been sitting here looking at it and playing with it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Nothing to plug on it yet? You got nothing that's
everybody calls me angry ass Aaron. So I get because everywhere I've worked, I guess I'm the Opie. I'm the boss. I'm the guy. So I don't know. When it comes to work, I'm the one that pisses everybody off. So yeah, angry ass Aaron. We'll see what happens. I might put one out, might not. We'll see what happens, but I'll let you guys know.
Send it over. Send over the info on Facebook, bro.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Aaron. Have a good night, man.
Angry ass Aaron.
Angry ass
He
Aaron.
makes some good points, and it's good to hear a fan's perspective. And I consider, obviously, I'm a fan. I mean, you got more inside information being related to Anthony and knowing them for many years. Yeah. I've been listening since day one of NEW. I didn't know any of them before then, obviously, that you did. And the one thing I was very surprised to hear was the 1999 thing, but that was the one thing I think out of all of this that was a little surprising for me. But hey, listen, I'm not inside the either one of these guys' heads. I don't know what goes on, but fuck it, man. Shit happens, and life goes on.
Shit certainly does happen, Joe.
Yes, it does.
Happens all the goddamn time.
But that's going to be fun for coming up on our show in the next few weeks, and I'm working on a few other things as well. But definitely look for more musical guests. Brother Joe jamming with guys.
And tomorrow, the sibling show.
Huge.
The sibling show. Anthony, Dawn, myself. We're going to be, I think it's going to be like an 18-hour show from what Anthony said, because we have a shitload to talk about. When the three of us get together, it's kind of like the retarded Osmonds. Like, it is. It's like Donnie, Marie, and it was Tito and Osmond. No, but I'll be Tito Jackson.
He was a
That's-
Jackson. I was going to say he was the other family.
It's like
the black one.
It's like a Jackson and two Osmonds is what it is. But no, we have a pisser when we hang out together always, and we're gonna have a lot to talk about. A lot of old school stuff. A lot of growing up in Southern California. The old man. We'll be touching on Dawn's boobies. No. We'll be touching on a lot of. You just got that.
No.
The jokes will be flying over your head.
No. I was picturing it. That just was like.
As Dawn would say, ew. We'll be talking about.
Are you going to talk about when you had to move the furniture and the drawer?
No, we'll be talking.
That's a good story.
We'll be talking about when Adam Ferrara touched Dawn's boobies. What we're talking about. Yes, folks, we have quite a bit of inside information, as well as sitting down, maybe playing a couple of songs in the new studio theater.
Slash.
And I'm sure there's going to be a ton of people, like friends and stuff over there, that will be able to bounce some stories off of, like Dennis fucking Farrell's belly. Be bouncing all kinds of shit off that. Dennis goes and fucking tweets that nasty fucking shit. He's hysterical.
Dennis rules, bro.
He
He's
does.
a funny fucking guy.
Love that guy. My poker buddy, Dennis Farrell.
Let's not forget who brought this episode. Brought to you by HydromaxBathmate.com. Get a bigger dick in 30 days.
Here it is. Not the dick.
Here it is.
Get a bigger dick in 30 days. Here it is. Here you go. Watch this. Patented pumping action. HydromaxBathmate.com, folks. That's right. The only place where you can get a bigger dick, the only place other than Africa, you can get a bigger dick in under in 30 days.
15 minutes a day in the shower, warm water. It feels good.
It does. Warm water, and you throw a little bit of shampoo in there, too, I found out.
You know what? Conditioner, better than shampoo. Softer.
How many times so far with this thing? Listen to this. That's what it does. It sucks your cock.
It makes your cock bigger.
And it's got a vacuum release. So once you pump it up to the point where it's like fucking, you got the old purple diving board going. What you want to do is you want to hit the suction release and watch. It just, that's it. Here, wait. Listen real close. Watch. You pump that bitch up and then listen. There it was.
SBD, it sounds like.
That it does.
That wasn't the one you had on your dick.
No. Hey, get me the dictaphone.
Shirley, would you mind coming in here?
Well, what this? No. Yes, I wouldn't. Don't call me Shirley. So the HydromaxBathmate.com. Make sure you pick one of these things up, and the girls will love it. All right. I think that's enough show for today, Joe.
I believe so.
I think we went long and strong, yo.
Overtime.
Pay me. And we will be back next Wednesday. I will be playing the Jethro Tull interview, so please tell your friends. Thank you so much for coming out. I lost my glasses. I really did too. I lost my glasses. Now I have to use these. Oh, what, too soon? All right, that's enough. We're going away now. We will see you guys next week, same time, Wednesday, 8 p.m. And for Joe Pietaro and Joe Cumia, this is the Joseph Cumia Show, Guilty by Association. Thank you.
We now return control of your television set to you until next week at this same time, when the control voice will take you to